Hello, Year 7 students. Here's Mr. Allen, and we're almost finishing our unit about ratios. Yay! But there is one last concept that I want to introduce to you guys, and you're going to talk about this today. That's the idea of rates, okay? But before you move to this one, I want to talk a little bit about ratios. Those are a couple ones that you did before, correct? So, I think that was in the first lesson that you talk about the ratios between yellows and orange tiles. We did show a ratio between squares and circles, the ratio between apples and bananas, the ratio between drawing and original, and I want you guys to realize what all of them they have in common, okay? So think with me, when I'm talking about yellows and oranges, I agree that I was talking about tiles, so can I say that I was talking about the same colors? When I was talking about squares and circles, I was talking about what? I was talking about figures. And when I was talking about apples and bananas, I was talking about fruits. When I was talking about drawing original, I was talking about measurement. Both of them should be what? Should be in the same unit. That was the last thing that we studied. So they were all in centimeters. So what is the big deal about ratios? Ratios is nothing else more than a comparison between two numbers, okay? And they should be in the same unit to make this thing a little bit easier. Mathematically speaking, it will work for any case, but they should be in the same unity, okay? And today we're going to talk about the concept, we're going to talk about rates, okay? So there is a thing about rates, and I want you guys to understand how this thing will work, okay? So before, the big difference about rates and ratios is that here I can compare different units. But before we start, I want you guys to open your books on page 62 and you're gonna do this explore. But mister, I don't have a partner. Okay, so now you're gonna ask for everybody in your house and you're gonna use a stopwatch, okay? And with that, you're gonna check how many blinks that anyone can do in 20 seconds, okay? So go through your house and see who is the fastest blinker, the fastest blinker that you have, okay? So take a quick look on page 62 to do this activity. So 20 seconds. How many blinks? And you guys gonna write this thing in your notebook. Gonna write all this data in your notebook, okay? So when I say stop, you guys stop the activity till you do this explore really fast till you guys realize what you're gonna use here, okay? So stop. Okay, so those are the numbers that I get here in my house. So agree that I can still compare those two units, okay? So I did 60 blinks in 20 seconds. My brother did 63 blinks in 20 seconds, and my mom did 57 blinks in 20 seconds. Okay, so can I relate those units as a ratio? Yes, a ratio is nothing else more than a comparison between two numbers. So if I'm gonna do like that, it will work? Yes, it will. So can I write the first one? So can I write this one as a 60 to 20 ratio? Yes, I can. And if I simplify that thing, can I say that I will do 60 to 2 and 3 to 1? Yes, I said that I will do three blinks and 1 second. So this one here, when I'm comparing two different units, I think that there is a special way to write that, okay? So in the same way that I can write 3 to 1, I can say that I will do 3 blinks per 1 second, okay? That works. Yes, that works. So here, when I can compare two different units, I will call that thing a rate, okay? And especially, not every case, but most part of the cases, it will be related to time, okay? It will help us a lot to understand this. And those are units that you're gonna use a lot in your daily activities, cool? So here, for example, I can write my units by blinks to time. Now, seconds the best unit to I work here because think with me, 6.3 is not so good, agree? And 57 is not a good number to do the calculations too. So let's try to use a better unit. So can I calculate how much gonna be my blinks per time? Can I say that time? In minute? Yes. So can I write that it will be 60 blinks per 20 seconds. So can I transform that thing in minutes? Yes, like I can transform that in a ratio. So how much seconds I have in 1 minute? I have here seconds. So per 60, here if I'm gonna have what I did in one of the sides, I multiply here by 3. So here I multiply here by 3 too. So if I'm gonna write this thing here, multiply that by 3, I'll have 180 blinks per 60 seconds. So let's try to write this thing in a better way. Can I write this as 180 blinks per 1 minute? Cool. Now here comes the trick. If I know that I can transform that thing in 180 blinks per 1 minute, can I just write 180 blinks per minute? Okay? Now, when I'm talking about rates, the big deal is that I can transform my ratio. If I'm comparing blinks to time, now I'm gonna write this thing as a whole new unit. Okay, so gonna be 180 blinks per minute. Perfect. So I already know when I'm relating, I only have one number to relate this thing. So this one in special, as I'm dealing with only 1 minute, I will call it what? I will call this thing a unit rate. Okay, that one will help us a lot, and you're gonna use that in a lot of situations in our daily life. For example, how much money that I want per hour. Can I do calculations like that? That special word here, when you're talking about rates, it appears a lot. Per. When I'm working with only one thing per one unit, okay? A thing per a unit of one here. When I'm talking about unit rates, I can use that word of per. So for example, a lot of people, they work per hour. So they receive a certain amount of money based on how much that he receive a certain amount of money based on how much time that he work. So for example, there are people that receive 15 reais per 1 hour of work. Now, how I can write that thing better? Can I write that the person receive 15 reais per hour? Yes. So do you guys agree that now I have one whole unit? So it means how much money that he doing only 1 hour. Another example, a car. What's gonna be the distance? Cars that save a lot of money, you can drive them a lot with just a small amount of small amount of gasoline. So for example, mine, it does 15 kilometers per liter. Okay, so do you guys see that those are usually units that you work in our daily activities? Cool. So let's do a couple more examples to see how this thing works. Okay. Okay, so I have those two examples here. Guys, before I start solving them, try to solve it. Try to write that as a rate, okay? Create a new unit for both of them. So, for example, our heartbeat, it can be calculated. It can be something like that, okay? So usually the human heart, it beats 25 beats in 20 seconds, okay? So if it beats 25 beats in 20 seconds, so is it possible to write that thing in a better way that I use only one unit? Yes. So how am I gonna write this thing? If it beats 25 beats in 20 seconds, can I write that transforming this unit here in 1? Yes. 1 second, mister. I don't think that this one gonna be so good. So let's transform this thing in minutes. Yes, 20 minutes. So agreed. Remember that this is nothing else more than a ratio. So if I multiply here by 3, 20 seconds in 3 minutes gonna be equals to 60 seconds. And here 25 bits times 3 gonna be equals to 75 bits. Okay. So you have 75 bits in 60 seconds. That's the same thing as writing 75 bits in 1 minute. Cool. Now, how can I do that thing more interesting? How much bits? 75 bits per minute. Okay? So this is a way that I'm using. Now, remember that the big goal is now I just want to write that thing as only 1 unit, so 25 bits per minute. I don't need to know what was the numbers that I was comparing, okay? I already know that this one here, I have a 1 hidden, and that other one going to be equal to 75, okay? So, another example. If a printer do 120 sheets of paper in 3 minutes, so is it possible to write this thing as a rate? Yes. What's going to be my rate? I know that my rate here, in the end, gonna be sheets per minute. Cool. So 120 sheets in 3 minutes. Can I simplify that rate or can I transform that thing in a better way? Yes. Now, can I divide here by 3 in both sides? Yes. 120 divided by 3 gonna be equals to 40 sheets. In how many minutes? 1 minute. Cool. So 40 sheets in 1 minute. And it's the same thing as saying that I'm going to have 40 sheets per minute. Okay, that's last year. I can write like that. Or I can write like that. That's going to be my whole new unit that I'm going to work with. Okay? So just to finish this last example here, a 225 kilometers trip and 2.5 hours. Cool. So let's see the units that I have here. I have the units kilometer and the unit hour. Okay. So if I put them together, what I will have? I will have kilometers per hour. Kilometers per hour, don't do a click in your head. Remember where you already saw that thing. Is related to what? Is related to speed, to velocity. Okay, so I know that 225 kilometers trip in 2.5 hours, I need to transform that number here in what? That number here must become a 1. So 2.5, I already have my rate here, my unit, I already have my rate, the unit of my rate. Now I'm going to create my unit rate, okay? So 2.5 divided by how much that I will have 1. Why divided, mister? Because it's reducing my number. So it's reducing my, if it is the reducing my number, so I'm going to divide here by 2.5. 2.5 divided by 2.5 is equals to 1. And here the same number that I divide in one side is the same number that I divide in the other one. So 225 divided by 2.5, it will be equals to 90. So I'm saying that I'm doing 90 kilometers in 1 hour. So if I'm doing 90 kilometers in 1 hour, it's the same thing as doing 90 kilometers per hour. That's the way that I'm going to write my unit rate. Okay? Mister, can I write that in another way? Yes, you can. 90 kilometers per hour. Okay? Or even better, 90 kilometers hour. Remember that this thing, ratios are nothing else more than a fraction. So what does it mean? That here in the bottom you have what? I have a hidden 1. So if I have a hidden 1 here, 90 kilometers done in 1 hour. Okay? So guys, check Google Classroom to see the activities that you have to do. That topic concludes everything that you already study about ratios, that you will study about ratios and rate. And that's it for the week. So have a nice weekend. Check Google Classroom. See you guys in the Hangout. And bye-bye.